heard you might need ideas for a resignation letter. Good morning, it's CJ, the XER nurse. So a lot of you will be tendering your resignation probably within the next few weeks. I hope if you have the opportunity to request an exemption that you'll do that. In my experience in the healthcare system, it appeared at least a few weeks ago when people were handing in their request, it appears as if, everybody's getting them approved. Because like I always say, your job fucking needs you. They don't want you to quit. It sucks when you quit. It costs them money when you quit. It's not because they care about you, okay? They fucking don't. Let's just be real and shoot straight. Your boss does not give a shit whether you work there. Your corporation doesn't care that you're their employee. Stop that already. It's nonsense. They need you. They need you to work so they can make money. Okay, that's what's happening. But regardless of the reason, it appeared to me in my anecdotal experience that everybody was getting their request approved, including mine, which was bullshit. As I've said in a prior video, my request was bullshit and they said yes to it. Of course, it was after I resigned, but that is besides the point. So if you do have the opportunity, I hope that you will put a request in. If for some reason it does get denied, then maybe you need some ideas for a resignation letter. So I'm going to read you mine. Actually, I wasn't going to do it because I was kind of vacillating on whether I wanted to really talk smack about my hospital, but I fucking do. I fucking do, because they haven't paid me my goddamn PTO yet. And when I called yesterday, left a message for the HR department, which I'm going to say is not very busy. We worked in like a 90-bed hospital, okay? Your HR department is not, the fucking office that things are flying around and people are just so busy they can't even return a phone call. But I did not get a phone call back about my PTO, that it's been weeks now and I haven't gotten paid it out. And I resigned and I'm entitled to that fucking money. So give me my fucking money, Trinity. I'll call again today and I'll leave another message. And then I'll call again. What's today? Today's Thursday. I'll call again tomorrow. And then if I don't talk to anyone or hear from anyone, my lawyer will call on Monday. So we'll go from there. But meantime, I'm going to read my resignation letter. And I'm just going to remind you that when I resigned, my boss was on vacation. So I gave it to my assistant manager. And then I walked a copy to HR and I told them that I wanted their exemption request committee to read it. And then I walked a copy to the CEO of the hospital and I left it with his secretary. And she was like flabbergasted. She didn't know what was going on. And she's like, "You're quitting? Where do you work?" "Yeah, I work in the ER, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm quitting and I want Dan to know why." So this is what my resignation letter says. Although I had planned on waiting for a response regarding my vaccine exemption request, I have decided to withdraw my request and will be resigning my position as of August 30th. I am putting an end to the anxiety that I have been trying to manage for weeks now, as the committee holds my future in their hands. I am not going to beg anyone for my job, and I am not going to elaborate on my initial request. I am taking back my power and leaving this facility on my own terms. I never want an answer on whether they deem my reason for declining the COVID vaccine valid enough for continued employment. I know that my reason is valid. This is important because I specifically told them that I never wanted to know what their answer was. And then they proceeded to tell me what their answer was when the fucking lady from HR came into the ER right after I handed this in and told me that they had approved my request. So not only did they make me wait, Not only did I resign, not only did I tell them I didn't want to ever fucking know, but then they added insult to injury and fucking told me. Moving on. I have been a nurse here for 3 years now, which is the longest I have ever stayed at a job. I had absolutely no intention of leaving and have actually told family and friends that if I could, I would retire here. I have never worked for a better manager or with a better team, but in the grand scheme of things, nurse does not define me. So I will walk away from this place with my head held high, sure of my decision, and empowered to move forward in the world, finding other ways to help the people who need help right now. I know the committee will not feel my loss from this unit, but the patients will. I have been a compassionate and empathetic caretaker to a population who is underserved and disenfranchised. I have sat at many bedsides and cried over the injustices that these patients face each and every day. I have given them my undivided attention, along with my love and support. I really loved the patients of the city that I worked in. I felt like I was helping them and showing them that some white people care. And I tried to guide them in meditation and yoga and balance in their life and peace. I'll continue. I know the committee. This is really hard, I'm sorry. I know the committee has not lost any sleep over my financial viability in this scary, uncertain world, but I have, wondering how I will pay the bills in a state where I can no longer work in the field for which I am trained. Wondering how I will support my 16-year-old, how I will come up with my half of the mortgage, how many groceries I will have to deliver, or tables I will have to serve to make ends meet. I know the committee, the fucking committee, cannot understand the emotional and mental distress I have been dealing with since July 8th, the day my career was taken from me, but my wife and family can. They have seen me crippled with anxiety and sadness, tortured while waiting pathetically for someone else to decide my future. I could not have come to this very difficult decision without their love and support, and for that I am grateful. How my heart is broken for the other workers who do not have a support system, who do not see any other way out of this than through submission to authority, who are being held hostage by their need for a job in this capitalist society, one which has no regard for their health in any other way, that will let them run out of insulin because they cannot afford it, that will encourage unhealthy habits and make insurance unaffordable, that will make privilege a prerequisite for quality fucking health care. All this as the rich get richer, Moderna stocks skyrocket, and good nurses lose their jobs. It is with a heavy heart that I say goodbye. The people of Trenton have and will always have my heart. And that's the letter that I ended my nursing career with. And I stand by every fucking word all these weeks later. And I had a shitty day yesterday and I hardly made any fucking money. And my hospital holds hundreds of hours of PTO in their hand. This is devastating, what's happening. And anyone who says that I deserve to lose my job, and bye, that's a lot of the comments that I get. Bye. Go work somewhere else. Fuck you. Fuck you. You don't even know what you've done. You know, my coworkers were sad that I was leaving. Maybe not. But nobody fucking, to my knowledge, you know, wrote a letter in my defense or stood up for me and said, you know, you really shouldn't let her go. This is bullshit. You know, there weren't any protests around here in New Jersey. There was one at another hospital, hospital nearby me, but like 100 people showed up one time and that was it. And guess what? Everybody was still forced to roll up their fucking sleeves or quit. And people have the nerve to say good riddance. Go do something else. Until there's nothing else to do. Why is this happening? I haven't had a good cry in the car in a while. But now I have to get to work. So I'm gonna go to work. But I want you to know that this is, even though it's really fucking hard, it's still the right thing. It's still right. And I know in my heart that I'm gonna come out on the right fucking side of this. And I'm finding a community of really supportive people who love freedom. And these are the people that I never thought would be my people, okay? I'll get into that another time, but I've been all over the political spectrum. I really have, truly. My story is long and twisted. My life of my beliefs and beliefs I've held and then changed my mind on and really thought about and researched and dug deep and figured out what I really believed and what I just was believing because it's what I grew up with. And I mean, religion, politics, life, it all has been a constant evolving for me on where I stand. And I think that's healthy. It's healthy not to like get stuck and say, this is what I believe. I'll never fucking change. So I take a lot of pride in the fact that I allow my beliefs to change based on the things that I'm learning. But I'm learning right now that there's a community of people in this world, in this country, who will have my fucking back. And I really appreciate that. Because a few years ago, I was not a fan of your side. I really wasn't. And it doesn't change how I felt a couple years ago and the things that I did a couple years ago. But it's all changing for me now as I see this side of the country with new eyes, really, truly new eyes, and appreciate more of their beliefs. You know, I don't subscribe to everything. Of course, that shouldn't be. I'm not a brainwashed asshole. I'm just an open-minded person who is willing to listen to other sides of arguments and change my mind about things. But I want to say thank you to the people that are supporting me right now, emotionally. Strangers, fucking strangers. hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people are like verbally giving me support, and you have no idea what that fucking means to me. Really no idea. Because I haven't gotten that support for the most part from fucking people that I know. Okay? So thanks. I'm gonna keep doing this stuff that I'm doing because it's therapeutic for me, and I hope that it's helpful and encouraging for you if you're in the same boat that I'm in and that I was in a couple weeks ago. If you stuck around this long, 15 minutes in, thanks. I'm gonna let you go to work now too. And wish me luck today. Let's hope that there's lots of good orders and some big tippers out here, central New Jersey, because I fucking need it. Take good care. I'll talk to you soon.